trend going back to the age of disco, well, actually the end of disco, 1981, and talking about how corporate profits have gone up. And they've gone up about, over the long term, about 3 percentage points of GDP, which is not much. It's about $25 billion, you know, give or take. So that's one place where the money is. This is a chart of real earnings of families with children by decile, where each clump of bars there means 10% of the population. As you can see, the people at the bottom have the least money. And going up the first 9 bars, you see that there's a steady increase in who's got money. When you get to the 10th bar, there's a huge leap upward. The 10th decile, which is the richest people in Ontario, are not just the next step up of being well off. They're like 3 or 4 steps, as you can see from the chart. Talking just about the top 1% of the Canadian population. Statistics Canada put out a report last Tuesday, I want to say, that said that incomes of the top 1% of Canadian earners rose 8.5% from 2016 to 2017. It was a very good year. Incomes of the top 0.1%, tenth of 1% rose 17%, and incomes of the top 0.01 rose 27.2%. Now, these are numbers for Canada, but if you fear that Ontario does not have its share of rich people, don't worry. There are lots. Just take your bike and ride through Rosedale, or go down to King and Bay and go up and down the elevators, and you'll see that there is in fact money in this town. We're sort of like London, England, you know, we're the financial center of the country. Just another fact, talking instead of income, talking about wealth. In 2016, the Canadian Centre for Policy Alternatives, David McDonald in Ottawa, did a report on the 87 richest families in Canada, and it turns out that their wealth was 4,448 times that of the average Canadian family. And those richest 87 families, who had an average of $3 billion each in wealth, owned more property than the 12 million poorest Canadians. In fact, the 2 richest, and it's not up here on the slide, but the 2 richest own more property than the 11 million poorest Canadians. That was Kenneth Thompson and Galen Weston. So read newspapers and go to Loblaws and make your contribution there. So all this is saying to me, there's lots of money in this town, and the statistics match, you know, this feeling that we're not a poor place. If you go around North America, I do some work with provincial building trades who deal with the skilled trades. There are something like 420 tower cranes building big buildings. 120 of them are in Toronto. We have more cranes, and you just come down Dufferin or go across Bloor, you can see we have more cranes operating than any other city in North America. Los Angeles has like 49, Chicago is 21 or something. We got 120 cranes up. There is so much money here, and it's going into real estate largely. But a question that rich people would have, or a comment they might make is, well, yeah, but that's my money. I'm sorry, I mean, yes, I'm rich. I worked really hard to get that. It's my money, you can't have it. And I think there's a moral response to that, but also a factual one. And last week, my colleague at the CCPA, Sheila Block, had a op-ed in the Toronto Star, and one of the things she said was this: individual wealth is built on the wealth of our nation as a whole. None of the individual investments that made the rich richer could have happened without the vast public investments in infrastructure, education, and the institutions like our courts that make a modern economy possible. Millions of Canadians, past and present, have worked hard to make Canada a place where investments pay off. And you think about it, you know, you're Bill Gates, you think, I've invented this wonderful computer. Yeah, I suppose, but you didn't invent the university that taught you how to do that computer. You certainly didn't invent the electricity system that makes computers possible. Everything that people get rich from is built on a foundation that is the whole society. That's all of us. That's you teaching a grade 4 something that he or she or they didn't know the day before. And Sheila's last comment on that was, we all deserve a fair share of the wealth we have created together. Now,